Hi, good day everyone. Okay, I hope everybody is in a happy mood and you guys are ready to learn today. And I hope you guys are sitting comfortably at wherever you guys right now, wherever you guys at right now, because today we're going to learn something. Um, it is not something new, something that you've learned throughout the year. Literary devices, you've heard of this term a lot, right? Well, maybe since you're in secondary one, okay? You've heard about literary devices in poems, short films, or maybe short stories. I bet that you've found this word a lot, literary devices, okay? So for today, we're going to focus on literary devices in poems, okay? Moving on to the next slide. So here are the literary devices that I'm going to look at. I'm going to explain it thoroughly with you. Okay, so today's objectives. Okay, the objective of today's mission. Okay, we're going to make a mission. So the objective is to identify all of these literary devices: simile, metaphor, symbolism, repetition, diction, and personification. Okay, and of course these are only few literary devices that you've seen throughout your school days. I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure that all of you might have find any other kind of literary devices apart from those in my slides. There's a lot of literary devices out there. So your small mission, okay, your small task before we start, I would like you to list, okay, list any other literary devices apart from those in my screens, okay? So 1% at least one literary device, okay, and then send it in our WhatsApp group. Okay, I want to see how many literary devices that you can find or you can remember that you've learned. Okay, now moving on. First, we are going to talk about simile. Simile is a comparison of two unlike things using the word like or as. Okay, so here's the key: two unlike things, word like or as. So the example here, he was as busy as a bee. So the word used here to indicate that this person is using simile is the word as. Okay, as busy as. Okay, two unlike things. Now we know he, a person, and also a bee, a bug, a flying bee. Two unlike things. Two unlike things are being compared to show that they share a common traits. Okay, so this person and this bug share a common trait, which is busy. So that's why this person and this bug, a bee, is being compared together. And then the next example would be life is like a box of chocolate. The word like indicates that this person is using simile in his or her writings. Okay, so whenever you think of box of chocolate, chocolate makes you happy. When a person give me a box of chocolate, of course I would be happy. So this person who writes the example, life is like a box of chocolate, maybe this person thought of life as something happy, life that is full of happiness. So yeah, that's how you compare two unlike things together. Moving on, we are going to talk about metaphor. Metaphor is an implicit comparison between two things that are unrelated but share some common characteristics. Okay, now we learned, okay, previously we learned about simile, right? Simile is also a comparison between two things that are unrelated. Unrelated means that these two things are unlike. It's not the same. So how do we differentiate between simile and metaphor? Remember, simile is using the word like or as to compare two things. Unlike metaphor does not use like or as. Metaphor simply compare this thing and this thing. Like for this example, he is a shining star. So no word like and also as. Just directly compare this person with a shining star. Well, probably this person is bright like a star. Okay, so that's why people illustrate or picture this person as a shining star, or maybe someone who stands out too much, so people declare him as a shining star. Okay, something like that. The calm lake was a mirror. Okay, see how a calm lake being what how does it being compared to a mirror, to unrelated things, but being compared because they share the same traits, but without the word like and as. That's how you differentiate simile and metaphor. Okay, moving on. Symbolism. Okay, symbolism is the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. So, for example, dreams are linked to the future of fate. So, symbolism is depending on the context, how um, how the writer used the word dreams in his or her context. So, probably dreams can be, you know, can be pictured as future of fate. Like, for example, Ali dreams to to have freedom in his future life. So these dreams in this context, for this context, meaning that it indicates how Ali wants his future or fate to be like. Okay, next is repetition. What is repetition? Repeat, meaning that something is repeating on and on and on, being repeated. Okay, words or phrases repeated in a literary work to create rhythm or to bring attention of an idea. So the example given here is to the swinging and the ringing of the bells, 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 of the bells, 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 to the rhyming and the chiming of the bells. Okay, so obviously we see the word bells being repeatedly used in this writing, or maybe in this context. It is to create rhythm. So it depends on the context, on how the writer used repetition. Maybe he or she wants to create rhythm, or maybe to bring the attention of an idea. Okay. Next we have diction. Diction is the choice of words and phrases in writing. Example here is happy boss that cannot shed your leaves nor ever beat the spring adieu. Adieu. When you heard of the word adieu, what comes to your mind? To me, adieu reminds me of this phrase. Adios amigos. Means bye bye, goodbye. Okay. So yeah, basically adieu means goodbye, but in more formal ways. So maybe this writer is bidding his or her goodbye to someone who is older than him or her, or maybe someone that this writer truly respects. That's why he or she is using adieu instead of using goodbye. Okay, that probably could be the reason why. Next, personification. It is an attribution of as personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human. You see here the word person, a human being, meaning that a human being or a nature, personal nature, is being borrowed into something non-human. The traits of human beings or personal nature is being borrowed to something non-human, non-living things. So for example, given in this slide is lightning dance across the sky. So we know that lightning is something non-human, something that is not alive, but it is being how do we say this? Lightning is given an attribution, a human attribution, which is dance. Lightning is not dancing literally, but it is used in literary word to show that the lightning appears across the sky. And then the next example is the wind howled at night. How howling, the word howling, it is the sound that wolves or foxes make, okay, at night. Or maybe the wind at the night is howling like those packs of wolves are calling each other. So maybe that's how um, the writer wants to represent his or her ideas about how the wind sounds at the night. Okay, that's how the attribute of something living, something that is alive, into something that is not alive, the wind. Okay, I think that is it for the literary devices. Now, moving on to the real deal. Now that I've taught you earlier the literary devices, I've equipped you with the weapon that you can use in our first task, which is task A. Okay, for task A, with teacher's help, my help, identify the literary devices in the poem polaroid. Okay, remember to print out your task sheet. I told you to prepare earlier your task sheet, your highlighters, and also your pencil, okay, or pen, anything, so that we can work on this task together. And then after we are done with task A, we will proceed into the next task, which is task B. Task B, it will be basically the same thing as task A, but this time around I'm not going to help you. I will help you, but not directly. You will be on your own first. You're going to, just the same thing, identify the literary devices, but in different poem. For the next poem, you are going to identify the living photographs by J.K. Okay? So, if there's any inquiries, any questions that you want to ask, or maybe you want to ask for clarification, you guys can just ask in the WhatsApp group. Your friends might answer it for you. Okay, if they can answer you, then you can answer your friends. But if there's no one can answer, I will attend to your questions as quickly as possible. Don't be shy, you can always ask. Okay, I won't bite. So yeah, let's do the task A together first. Okay, now I would like to recite this poem for you first. Polaroid. I wish we could live in this polaroid, where we feel each other's void, where the time is frozen, so we could always live in the moment. The memories keep flooding in, like the waves on the shore. Those times will remain evergreen, although it hurts to the core. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Let it be a living memory. Not a single soul knew you would left without ado. This Polaroid I will keep forever in my heart, very deep. You are now so far away to the place where the angels stay. So now that I've read or recite this poem for you, now we are going to analyze or identify the literary devices in the in this poem, which is called Polaroid. So, okay, for task A, let's prepare your task sheet and then your highlighters and also a pen. So we're going to analyze the literary devices that we can find in this poem called Polaroid. So as you can see, I've highlighted some of it, but let me explain to you how to do this. So first, we're going to find literary devices. So the first one would be simile. Let's see if we can find simile in this poem. So as you can see, I used yellow highlight to highlight simile in this poem. The memories keep flooding in like the waves on the shore. So remember the definition of simile was a comparison of two unlike things using the word like or as. So the word used here is like, to compare memories and the waves. So meaning that the memories keep on coming in like how the waves keep on hitting the shore. Yeah. So at the outer box, we're going to highlight it at the side of the box like this, and then on the left box we're going to write our literary devices, which is simile. Now on the right box we're going to write a definition, a comparison of two unlike things using the word like or as. Okay, and then for the second point, we might write our explanation why the poet used simile. So as I said earlier, the poet used a simile to compare the wave and the memory, to show that memories keeps on coming like how waves hit the shore. Okay, next let's see if we can find personification in this poem. We're going to use blue highlighter or any kind of color that you want to use. So in this poem we found this phrase, living memory. So remember, the meaning of personification is an attribution of personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human. So over here, memory is something non-human, and living is the attribution of animals or human being, nature or human being. So the attribution is given to the word memory to indicate that the memories will not be forgotten as long as the poet is still alive. So let's write it outside here. We're going to highlight the side of the box. It's the same thing. I'm gonna write it out. Personification. And then on the right box, we're going to write the definition. Attribution of personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human. The second point would be our explanation. Memory will not be forgotten as long as the poet is still alive. Okay, now that I've given you guide on how to do this, so I hope you can continue the other three literary devices that you can find in this poem. You may pause this video so that you can find literary devices in this poem. You may pause it. So I'm going to show you how the final looks of the task sheet given could look like this. I fill in everything, I've highlighted it, and yeah, this is how it looks like, and yours shall look like this too. And then I hope you can upload, please upload your task sheet in the Google Doc, or Google form that I've given in the WhatsApp. Okay, now I hope you're done with your task sheet A, because we're going to move on our task sheet B. So for task sheet B, we're going to do the same thing as task sheet A. You're going to highlight, you give definitions, and also your explanation, short explanation on why the poet used certain literary devices in his or her poems. And for task sheet B, you are going to analyze the poem written by Jackie K, which entitled The Living Photograph. So I would like you guys to discuss in the WhatsApp group, or you may do it individually, or yeah, if you're comfortable to do it alone, then yeah, by all means you can do it on your own, or maybe you want to do it with your friends. Yes, you are allowed to do it with your friends. You are allowed to discuss in the WhatsApp group. You may ask and you may answer your friends. Any questions related to the task can be asked, and your friends may answer it for you. But if there's no one can answer it, then I will attend to the question while so you may ask each other, and you may discuss with your friends on what you're going to do. Hi once again. I hope by the time you play again this video, I hope you're done with both of the tasks, task sheet A and task sheet B. Hope you're done, and please do submit it by today using the Google form that I've forwarded into your WhatsApp group. So for today's recap, I have sent in the same Google form. I've asked some questions that requires your answers regarding today's class. I hope you can answer it honestly, and yeah, just submit it to me, okay? And then for today's extra task, I would like you to recite any of the poems that we learned today, whether you can recite polaroid or maybe the living photographs. So it's your choice. You may choose any poem that you like. You recite, you record yourself, and then you may send the link, upload it first in Google Drive or maybe YouTube, and then upload the link into the Google form that I've prepared earlier. Okay? And yeah, after this video ends, or after you watch this video, I will provide the answers for you to find out the answer for both task sheet A and task sheet B for your self-assessment, okay, so that you can see whether your answer is wrong or not. Okay, you may request it from me if I haven't forwarded the answer yet to you, okay? And I think that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's activities, and I hope you're having fun doing task sheet A and task sheet B, because this is something new that we do in our class. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.